Welcome back, YouTube. It's United States news time, and it's my favorite. I hate covering the United States. It's nothing but bad news. With that said, I do have some good news lined up from the United States. Let's just get into it. A Florida police officer has been sentenced to 25 years in prison and 45 years on sex offender probation for possessing about 100 images and videos of child sex abuse material on his phone. He was also involved in a pedo chat room on Kick. Meet Officer Brandon Michael Fox. Officer. And of course, who did he vote for? Oh, we had to look that up. If you're wondering who this Republican, by the way, if you're not paying attention, by the way, I got to give props to this woman, this Dara Faye, who literally every single day posts another post about, oh wow, this is insane. No. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Posts absolutely crazy videos like this one. They're like, whoa, dude, watch this. Hit a fucking bus.
Oh shit.
It's two people running from the cops.
God damn. Woo.
And did the Jeep successfully hide from the cop?
Oh.
No, okay, there they. Oh, they're the cops.
Oh, they running.
This guy, he can't make it.
Oh.
Dude, you're fucked. All you're doing at that point is just adding more time to your sentence. You know, criminals aren't known to be very smart, though. Yeah, hitting that bus though. Oh boy, you just added some serious. You just added some serious time to your fucking sentence, dude. They're arresting somebody over here. Oh, they got. Oh, the truck. Oh, the truck tried to go around, tried to go in that direction. The kids in the bus. Dude, the kids in the bus ain't never forgetting that one.
Damn, man, the kids is crying. Look.
The kids are crying. This happened in Canada. Holy shit.
That shit crazy.
Oh, poor kids are frightened. Oh,
The car hit the bus. Yeah.
that's not cool. That's not
Oh,
cool.
nah, the car hit the pole first, and then the bus hit it. Literally right after. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Woof, 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 woof. Doesn't look. I don't think any kids were hurt. They're probably just very, very frightened. Anyway, this YouTuber or this Twitter person's really great. Almost every day posting more evidence of right-wing pedophilia. Just all these right-wingers, cops and others, getting busted with kiddie porn. Yeah, Vosh. Another absolutely insane video. This desperate farmer. You know that song? Drove the Chevy to the levee, and the levee went run dry. I think is this what they were talking about? Look at this shit, dude. This desperate farmer fills his truck up with dirt. Fucking runs that bitch up into the goddamn lake. Yeah, American Pie, yeah.
Stop right there, baby. Stop right there.
Yes.
Yep.
Right there, yes.
Yep.
Nice. Very creative. And folks, and we got a follow up on it. So this is what it looked like. Before. Just Cam Gobbas, why did he do that? So if you could see here, these are fruit trees, right? It takes years and years to cultivate fruit trees so that you can get successful harvest from them. It's an incredible investment, and you know it can take several years of investment just even before you can start, harvesting fruit. Apparently, this area was also connected to several people's homes, and what happened was that the levee broke. There's this water source here, some lake or something, the levee broke and it started to flood this entire area on the right, not just the farm, but also other people's homes. So, and this is what it looks like afterwards, folks. They did it. They did it. They totally covered up the trucks. They completely covered up the trucks. So so we're looking at the same angle here. So they completely covered up the trucks with mud. Yeah, it was an emergency. They had no choice. And you know, the farmer was asked about the cost of the trucks, and he was like, you know, it's you know, a couple losing a couple trucks, you know, not that big a deal. And also, there's a lot of idiots on Twitter like, oh, the pollution. This is negligible pollution at best. He saved probably hundreds of millions of dollars worth of damage from happening. You know, by sacrificing a couple $30,000, $50,000 trucks.
Stop right there, baby. Stop right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. I mean, sometimes dudes are awesome, huh? Sometimes dudes are awesome. Just saying. I'm just saying. I don't mean to be sexist about this, but sometimes dudes get it done. Okay? The ladies get it done. Girls get it done. But sometimes dudes get it done too, okay? Look at that shit, dude. Puts a smile on my face, man. Hell yeah, boy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So big props to that farmer over there. Ingenuity. Okay. Okay. This guy is a slime bag. I'm so sick of Ro Khanna. Because we got him here pretending like he gives a shit about East Palestine. Not Palestine, Steen, I believe. Oh, he's talking a good game. He cares so much, and you know, maybe the left should be doing more. So he's saying this shit because he wants to run for president. That's what's going on. Maybe he's angling for a vice presidency. But yeah, oh hey, maybe that sounds pretty good.
And if I could say one thing to Stephanie's point, because I do think this is what's driving some of the anger in this country. I believe that Fed did the right thing to protect depositors and a lot of these companies. But when you look at Jackson, Mississippi, when you look at East Palestine, Ohio, when you look at folks with student debt and medical debt, they see that the Congress isn't capable of acting in 3 days the way they were capable to act here. And that is a big issue in this country. Why is it that some people who deserve relief get the relief and others don't?
I don't know. Guy that is in government, in the party that's in charge. Why don't you fucking tell me? You're asking why? Why are you asking us? You should be asking your fucking colleagues. You should be telling us why. It's so disingenuous. It's so disingenuous. And let me show you this fucking snake in the grass. Let me show you something. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. When asked about, you know, giving aid to Ukraine, look at his response.
Should we give arms to Palestine and go and support a war effort to push Israel out of occupied territories?
No, I think that the occupation is wrong and we should have diplomatic consideration. But I wouldn't put Israel like a great power like Russia and China. I mean, I think that the justification.
And also Brianna Greyjoy's completely disingenuous question. Right. Oh, if we're going to help, I mean, it's a tomato, right? If we're going to help Ukraine, we got to help Palestine, which I kind of agree, though. I kind of agree a little bit at the very least, because we should be helping Palestine by stopping our aid to Israel and let Palestine figure itself out. That's how we should help Palestine.
Here is that when you have great powers, they can march into many different countries. You have to have a check on that and a clear line. And I think the president has achieved that by making sure that Putin couldn't get into Kiev. That was the
Isn't
original.
that a kind of
He doesn't even say it correctly, man. Come on, everyone knows it's Kyiv now. It's not Kiev. We haven't been doing that for a while.
admission that it's not about Ukrainian sovereignty, but the bigness of who it is that we're opposing in our state and
I mean, this is fair. This is fair because the U.S. and representatives from the U.S. don't want to call it a proxy war, even though that's clearly what it is. They should embrace it. I mean, yeah, look, we're pushing back on the Russian, oppression. And yeah, we're pushing back on it. But they don't want, I guess they don't want to be called McCarthyite or anything like that, or Russophobes. And it's the neoliberals are not walking the right tightrope with this, because they could actually get a lot of political clout by standing firm against Russian imperialism instead of this wishy-washy message that they're giving us.
Our status in the global order, and again, wanting to weaken Russia as opposed to actually having a principled defense of Ukrainians?
Oh, it is standing up for Ukrainian sovereignty. I think if there was another country that had their sovereignty violated, you would have an international
Like
coalition.
Palestine.
Yeah, no, and this is a great point. I make this point all the time. All of a sudden, we give a shit about Ukraine, and that's totally justified. But what about these other places that we're perfectly okay with, and even supporting governments that are oppressing against them, with us supporting Israel, us supporting Saudi Arabia?
Of course, we are one of the few countries in the world that don't recognize Palestine as a country, but Palestine is the obvious rejoinder that people come back to.
Well, and I've said that the occupation is wrong and that we have to have a peaceful settlement there.
Just words, just fucking words.
That is a two-state solution. I mean, but the point is, if there was if any country invaded now another country, we should have an international coalition that would push it back. It's certainly with the great powers. The reason I've mentioned great powers
He's so slimy. This answer sucks.
is because then you don't have that international coalition, and so the burden falls more to the United States as another great power. And I think Biden do I agree with every one of his statements? No, but I think he's actually been pretty judicious. He has not wanted to escalate it to a world war.
I mean, I think that's fair. Biden and NATO, I have been actually extremely careful about this, so that they are not. But the thing is, so that they're not painted as warmongers. But the thing is that they will be. They'll be painted as warmongers by Russia and Turkey and China and and all the bad actors in the United States, the hammer and sickle assholes. They'll do it anyway. There's no amount of, tiptoeing. There's no amount of tiptoeing in the fucking war tulips. You know what I mean? That's gonna be like, all the bad actors are gonna be like, yeah, well, I mean, Joe Biden was really careful with the escalation, and they're gonna be like, no, Joe Biden's a fucking bloodbath murderer, blah blah blah. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do it regardless.
Has made it clear that we aren't going to be offensive against Russia. I got so much criticism for being the only progressive caucus member to stand by the CPC letter saying that while we're standing with Ukraine, we should have an engagement at the same time with Russia. I thought it was kind of an obvious point.
Yeah.
What about Palestine, though,
Turns out
bro?
the administration is doing that.
He's running away from Palestine.
People backed off from. The administration is doing it. So I guess
Wait, the administration is doing what? Because there's been so much reporting since a year ago, really, that there have been all of these attempts at negotiations that the U.S. and the U.K. have purposefully derailed.
And they just cut her off? What the fuck? What is that? Is that like when the porno cuts it off right at the money shot? Am I supposed to subscribe to to get this now, or what the fuck? Right? This is like because they don't have their whole show on YouTube. They do little cuts. Like, okay, whatever. I'm sorry, no. Okay, that went in a little different direction than I thought it was. But Nathan J. Robinson, who did not allow his employees to unionize, Mr. Pro-Union, unions for thee, but not for me. Also, side note, I'm thinking about it now. You can see the drama from the Twitch site, RIP, called Kick. I'm on Kick. Streaming on Kick right now. Check me out. Kick.com. Make sure you follow me over there on Kick.com. Where's my link? Hold on. Here it is. Check me out. Kick.com, folks. Come on over. Like and subscribe. What happened to my thing? Is it streaming? Oh, there we go. Check me out. Kick.com, folks. Like and subscribe. The dude was live streaming and sexually assaulted an incoherent drug chick. No, Kick doesn't give a shit. They don't care. They let open fascists parade around on their, the number one video will be some Zeke Highland white supremacists. They don't fucking care. That's a total joke. Anyway, back to Nathan J. Robinson here. He's just saying, incredible that the congressman's answer to the question, why should we support Ukrainian resistance to Russian occupation, but not Palestinian resistance to Israel, is that Russia is bigger than Israel. And yeah, Nathan J. Robinson's quite on a tear here. I keep poking him in his Twitter. He doesn't respond. Of course he doesn't. Trainwrecks is a co-owner. Yeah, he's a POS. That guy. Anyway, he's making a lot of great points on his Twitter. I just think it's funny that I don't know. I just hate how some of these eloquent, well-read. You know, he's visiting the Chapo Trap House all the time. These well-read guys are like blatant hypocrites. You know, like they could just be called out so easily on their shit. Like, oh yeah, you're a lefty, you're a fucking, you know, you're Ivy League, you know, silver spoon, and you're against, you know, unionization when it comes to your own employees. But you're telling everyone else they got to be, you know, progressive and they got to do a union, but not for you. Anyway, Jesse Ventura, got a clip from Jesse Ventura here calling out Kim Iverson, an absolute bad actor. Terrible. She's over there on Rumble. I'm trying to get on Rumble, but I need to get 25 followers to get on Rumble. And I think I only have one, like the one they give me. So yeah, this is the, you know, look, I mean, the thing is that Russia, I would be against, and I was against NATO aggression against Russia, the NATO encirclement of Russia, until I saw Russia's capacity for empire building, for 19th century barbarism. And then I understood what NATO was doing. And quite frankly, retroactively, Putin has made NATO 100% correct in its estimations and in its predictions. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Putin is NATO's employee of the year. Give the man a plaque. Anyway, bad actor Kim Iverson over here trying to all these weirdos bellying up to Tucker Carlson, fucking Matt Taibbi. You know, pretending that Tucker Carlson isn't a dangerous nihilist. It's weird. Jesse Ventura isn't having none of it, though, because you know Jesse Ventura over there. I used to watch his show on RT. Jesse, the world according to Jesse. He's got a new show. I don't know where he's doing it, though. I looked it up on YouTube. It's not there. Bro, you got to put your shit on YouTube, dude. Probably kicked off YouTube.
Why do you think now, like Tucker Carlson on Fox News is allowed to be anti-war and talk against all of these things versus, you know, we've seen so many people like yourself be silenced and censored and fired from these network positions for being anti-war. But now suddenly it seems like Fox News seems to be the one that has at least a voice that is against war. Why do you think things are changing, or do you think they just...
Honestly, you either have to be a bad actor trying to grift and cash in on that money, which is what Kim Iverson are doing, or you have to be a fucking moron to think Fox News is against war.
They tolerate
they're not changing, and Fox News isn't against the war. They're just making up that they are. Look at their credibility. You don't know what they're for. They're not for the war.
And this is great. I mean, you see her trying to the little lip movement. She's kind of like because she wants to be in that Tucker circle.
Fox News isn't against the war. They're just making up that they are. Look at their credibility.
No, dirty crackhead. They're not against spending money. They're not against, giving money to the military industrial complex to create more arms to send over to Ukraine. Republicans fucking love that shit. They're doing this as a cynical anti-Biden thing. Biden, it's a big slam dunk for Biden, and they're trying to shit all over it. And these tools like Kim Iverson, these weapons like Kim Iverson, are gladly stepping up and pretending like they give a shit about all the money being spent in Ukraine. Oh, I care so much about peace and money. Please spare me.
You don't know what they're for. They're not for the war. They're doing the war because they're against the war because a certain segment of their viewers take that position, and it's enough to keep their advertisers happy.
That's what they repeat.
Fox News is all about money making. And it's whatever the advertisers need. And they got their niche. These same people are also...
Jesse's 100% correct. Tucker Carlson's leaked text messages absolutely expose the fact that this dude has a private position and a public position.
Yeah, and that's a little clip from the Vanguard, who sometimes they do good work. Sometimes,
why do you think now?
Sometimes they're just, the regular snarky lefty, sitting in his fucking well-furnished room talking shit. And I know I do that a lot myself, right? But where is the activism? Bro, I mean, the Vanguard, they have clout. They got fucking clout. They came out of nowhere. They got some clout. Where's the marches? Where's the organization? Take your audience to the next level. Fight. Join the fight. What are you still doing here? Who pushed you? There we go. Damn. I don't have time for bad actors to be derailing my stream, so get the fuck out of here. Tucker Carlson probably has a room. Tucker Carlson doesn't care about Russia. I don't know. I don't think Russia has any compromise on him. Maybe I'm kind of on the fence. Maybe they got some shit on him, but no. I think this is just a cynical political attack against Joe Biden. They see it as an effective vector. Oh, what about the money? Who's paying for it? Yeah, like if we stopped helping Ukraine, all of a sudden all the right wingers would get a big paycheck or something. They don't fucking care about the money. They just see it as an effective. And look, yes, to DCH over here, yeah, you got the rubes repeating, "Oh, I care so much about the money because Tucker Carlson told me to care." Yeah, they'll repeat whatever they're told. But I'm talking about the fucking reality weavers. I'm talking about the fucking spin masters here. So here's a message from a fellow Zoomer, maybe millennial, but I think this may be a millennial, late millennial, early Zoomer, explaining the situation, right? Just how bad it is. And I just went through this myself, paid basically double what this house is worth just to get in the market, because you have to get in the game. Jackson Hinkle is a pathetic human being. I pity that man. I pity that man. The biggest issue and grievance I have with the stupid fuck Republicans nowadays is that they're defending their own freedom, upholding freedom of other nations. They don't fucking care. They don't even care about freedom for fellow Americans. It's freedom for them, but subjugation for you. Freedom to do what they say. Freedom to live in live by their rules. And they don't even believe that because if they were to get what they want, and these theocrats start passing laws about, you can't get drunk on this day, can't have sex with your sister. Oh, all of a sudden, all these fucking right-wingers have a big problem with them. Hell, they're trying to reverse child labor laws and child marriage laws. Anyway, here's a message from a Zoomer.
To show you exactly why the younger generations are quiet quitting, saying careers are dead, nobody wants to work anymore, all that shit that you hear. I'm going to show you exactly why that's happening. My wife and I have been together for 7 years. In those 7 years, we came up the old-fashioned way. We have 2 kids. We really struggled for a long time. And we just now, after 7 years of struggling and sacrificing, got to a point where we're no longer paycheck to paycheck. She finished school. I worked my way up at my job, where we make $120,000 a year, combined household income. And in 2 years, we financed and budgeted things out. We can probably save around $40,000 for a down payment for a house. After 7 years of struggling and working our asses off and build ourselves up into this country to buy a house. You do everything right. Let me show you what $120,000 a year, $40,000 down payment with good credit gets you. This was the only house available in our budget range, in our location where we live.
Yeah.
There was one house for sale.
It's about right.
And it was this one right here. This is what we can afford with $120,000 combined income and a $40,000 down payment with good
it's
credit.
This bad.
Our cars are paid off.
I was actually looking for something like this because I was looking for I was like, well, fuck, I'm going to have to pay $1 million. I'm taking out welcome back, Bisky. It's good to see you. I'm taking out $1 million loan, right? Why don't I just build a fucking house, right? Surely a house doesn't cost $1 million to build, labor, everything, right? And I looked up the price and yeah, no, it doesn't cost that, right? But there's a lot of caveats, right? Like if you're, you know, a lot of these guys, a lot of these home builders have special deals with lumber yards, right? And they lock in prices and they can, you know, and at that time when I was in the market for buying a house, material costs were really high. But anyway, I was actually looking for a piece of shit junker so I could buy the land, rip it up, and just build my own house. And these were the things, and believe it or not, folks, the market is so hot. These junk ass houses in the Vancouver area that I was looking at were all scooped up because everyone had the same idea I had of like, well, shit, I'm going to have to take out $1 million loan anyway. Might as well build my own house. If I can find a junker, rip it up and rebuild it, right? So these were actually in my area. These were well sought after. People were looking for the junkers. They saw it as a great deal.
We sacrificed, we worked hard, we worked our way up in this country to get to a point where we're no longer paycheck to paycheck and we can save money. This is what we can get. Everybody that is in the older generation saying, well,
Davey, I'm so tired of you saying, well, it's not a problem for me and not a problem for the people I know. So it must, you know, like, what are you even trying to say, man? This is a real problem. This is affecting millions of Americans and Canadians. Okay, I'm very happy for, you know, the fact that you live in a very undesirable area. Very happy for you. Okay, but there's a reality here in America that cannot be dismissed with the pithy, well, things are okay for me and the people I know. Come on, man.
Well, I guess you better go to college. Guess you better go get a degree, find a trade, something that makes you more valuable to the community. Was it always like that? Is that how it always was? Did you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, an engineer to get a livable house with a very substantial income?
Exactly.
My mom worked at Michael's. My dad was a pressman in a printing company. They both bought a house that is nowadays probably $600,000.
You're so glib, Davey.
At the age of 23, my mom worked just over minimum wage at Michael's, and my dad worked a little bit more than that.
What happened to the American dream?
This is what's going on.
What happened to the American dream? Huh, Davey? What happened to that? What happened to the idea of people working hard and being able to live, you know, comfortably? Yeah, you gotta live in the motherfucker. No, man, it's not. Just go live somewhere else is not the response that people are gonna want to hear. And you're just, oh well, they just need to accept reality. Yeah. Housing should not be a commodity. Should not be you know, it should not be something that's invested in and traded like gold and silver on the market. Housing should be a special category and should not be used as an investment vehicle. You know, what do you think, Davey? Do you think you're going to get rich off this system one day and that's why you got to defend it? You know, this terrible system where people can't even get homes in the cities and places they want to live in? There's plenty of homes, just no one can afford them because it's an investment vehicle for some fat cat. They're starting to do that with food now. You got Davos. You got them meeting up in Davos saying that you're going to own nothing and you're going to love it. Basically saying we're going to rent. We're going to make prices so unbelievably unreachable that you're going to have no choice but to rent. You're just going to rent for your whole life with Jeff Bezos. It ain't right. It ain't right. And just because it works for pockets of the country doesn't mean it works for everybody. And if it doesn't work for everybody, it's got to be fixed. Especially when it comes to housing. You can't be oh, inequality's okay with housing. Okay? Yeah, if I can't afford the hottest Lamborghini, well, too bad, so fucking sad, right? A house is not a Lamborghini. A house is not a luxury. It's a necessity. For society, man, for all this shit to work. We all can't rent and live in apartments. We gotta have kids and fucking grow and expand. That's what we do as humans. And these oligarchs are putting it well beyond our reach in major areas across the world, not just the United States. Oh, well, it's cheap for me, but cheap for me where I live. I don't know what everyone's bitching about. I disagree, Davey. Those people who live in those premium areas seem to enjoy those not so premium services that not so premium people work at. And those not so premium people need a place to stay. And they deserve to stay in, to not have to live in a fucking closet. They don't, yeah, sure. They don't need a mansion. They don't need a mansion, but they deserve better than a hole in the wall while everyone else is living in mansions and living it up. Something's got to change, man. If something doesn't change, people are going to get pissed and the whole system will upend. Then who's going to flip my burgers? In Toronto right now, it's snowing and I feel bad for the people in the streets. They're forced to... Homelessness in Canada is getting well out of hand. No doubt about it. Problem is that a house isn't a luxury, yes. However, when you can't even work towards buying a home without taking a loan to put yourself... Yeah, that's not how it should work. It's not how it should work. And this idea that, well, you should just move. Really? That's the glib response? You just leave the... what if you love this? What if you love the place that you're in? Oh, well, you just can't afford it. Fuck you. I don't think that's a good answer. I don't think that's the appropriate... Especially when there's plenty of room. Plenty of resources, in a lot of cases, plenty of homes, plenty of empty homes sitting empty. Yeah, that's a $3 million home on a $5 million piece of property. Yeah. Are you a doctor? No, I'm just, it's like a simple 2-family house, right? It's not a mansion, right? It's just a simple, 2-family, I mean like, 2-bedroom house is what I'm trying to say, right? Attic, maybe a basement, something real simple. A little bit of backyard. Oh yeah, that's $5 million. You'll get over it. That's a defeatist attitude, actually, Davey. That's a defeatist attitude. That's eat shit. Eat shit. Yeah, not everyone, but we're not talking about Manhattan. You think that guy in that video was showing a place in Manhattan? This is happening globally across the world. And we have the oligarchy gladly bragging about how they're buying up as much as possible to make us all renters. And you're like, yeah, whatever. It's a serious problem, man. It's a serious problem. And you know what else is a serious problem? Cops when they pull you over. Here's some hot tips on what to do when a cop pulls you over.
4 trick questions that cops ask when you get pulled over and how to answer them. Number 1, do you know how fast you were going? I wasn't speeding. Never admit to anything at all. Number 2, do you know why I pulled you over? This should always be a no. The second you pipe up and admit guilt, it's over. Number 3, can I search your car? I do not consent to a search. The only way they can search without consent is if they have probable cause or they have a search warrant. Number 4, where are you coming from and where are you going? Respectfully tell them you don't feel comfortable sharing that information. You don't have to tell them, and it's really none of their business. Remember, you'll hear them say, Kev's got you covered.
Kev looks like he's got me covered on a cocaine hookup. You know what I'm saying? Kev looks like he's got the coke hookup. And I disagree with this idea that once something has become commodified to the level like housing has become commodified, that it's simply impossible to change it and to go back. We just can't do it now. There's too many people making too much money. We can't reverse this. I disagree with that entire premise. Moving on. So here we go. Here's that solution that the right wing is talking about. You know, I'm sure the right wing supports paying for and building one of these devices in every classroom in America. What would that cost? What, $10 billion? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's this little contraption that your children can run into in case there's a maniac shooting up your school. Hey, wow.
It's that easy.
It's just that easy.
From my point of view, whatever I
Wow. And the teacher was talking about how, hey, kids actually just like to use it as a focus room sometimes. How will this save them? Well, I mean, this has a, you know, it's a big metal, I assume bulletproof. And they have a door, you know, on this is probably a door on this side that they can slam shut and then they can stay safe. Here's the thing though. I mean, I'm not allowed to show it. Well, actually I could show it because there's no, is it the Uvalde one? Uvalde shooting. Was that the one where he went into the school, right? Yeah, this fucking asshole. So let's count how long it took for him, you know, once he's entered the school to enter the classroom and start his massacre. So let's count the seconds here. Let's see here. Yep, crashes the truck. Okay. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Almost there. Okay, right here. Runs up. I'm not counting the crash as the start of the counting because there's no way the teacher inside knew what was happening outside. She was teaching a class. So he approaches real time, 11:33. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 12 seconds in, he's now in, the teacher has had an opportunity to actually maybe see him. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, no, that's right. He actually enters over here. So the teacher actually hasn't seen him yet. Oh, and there he goes. So, okay, so now the teacher has seen him. So let's go ahead. Let's give her an extra 2 seconds. So we got 2 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6. He's actually firing weapons. 7, 8, 9. So she had about 3 to 4 seconds to deploy the safe room and get all the kids inside. Let's see if she's able to do that. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Well, she's actually already dead. She's actually already been shot in the Uvalde, Texas scenario. She's dead right there. So now her corpse is actually preventing the safe room from being opened up further. Oh. Solutions. That's a solution, right? There we go. And, you know, it's interesting. The right wing, actually, we saw some right wing Twitter accounts posting, what the fuck? What is this? Oh, this is a sign of decline. I mean, just completely unironically. The right wing, oh, this is terrible. Why would you scarring our children? I mean, you know. and this is kind of one of the ideas that Ted Cruz had, right, with extra partitions and things like this. But as I tweeted here, the right wing would never pay for anything, even if this were, because like as a parent, sure, I mean, this would give me a little peace of mind. It'd give me something. It'd give me something. Right, even knowing the Uvalde situation, because a lot of the time it doesn't play out like Uvalde, right? And hey, and then the other kids, maybe unlike Uvalde, where he just stayed in one classroom, maybe in the future, you know, if shooters want to go classroom to classroom, well, these other kids in these other classrooms will get a chance. So it's not a terrible idea. If we're not going to do anything about gun violence, it's not totally a terrible idea. But will our politicians support the billions of dollars required to install these things into our schools? Absolutely fucking not. Barack Obama had a pile of toddlers shot with an automatic weapon by a mentally ill person who shot his mother minutes before and did nothing. Then Las Vegas happened. Wow. One of the most brutal mass shootings ever committed. Fart in the wind. Fart in the wind. I don't know. Why did he do it? I don't know. Moving on. That was Las Vegas. This is our new reality. And speaking of our new reality, it's everyone's favorite time of the week. Where is it? Where is it? It's mass shooting update time. Hey! Mass shooting update brought to you by Garbage Fuel. Mass shooting time. So there's been 129 U.S. mass shootings in 2023. 5,264 mass shootings since 2013. One whole day since the last mass shooting. Come on, folks. One whole day. Over there in Modesto, California, 2 dead and 2 injured. Gunmen unidentified, arrested or killed. Over there in Birmingham, Alabama, 4 dead. Possible domestic-related shooting. Gunmen and at least some of the victims were acquainted. Gunman Daniel P. Watson. So once again, I'd like to point out that we see at least one of these every time we do our mass shooting update. At least one of these, full-on family massacre and then suicide. Over there in Lubbock, Texas, we have 4 injured. Gunman Jamie Lee Pruitt arrested. Over there in Dallas, Texas, boy, Texas shooting it up today. Rootin', tootin', shooting. Over there in Dallas, Texas, 4 dead. Domestic victims. Wow, we got two in a row. Domestic victims. One of the suspects was the ex-girlfriend of one of the victims, and they were in custody. They were in a custody dispute over a child. The gunmen are Timo Maldonado, 18, and Azucena Sanchez, 20. So just, really hot situation, custody dispute, very, stressful and emotional situation. So let's make sure we make it legal to have extremely young, very volatile people have access to firearms. It's a great idea. I'm sure that was illegally on firearm. I'm sure that was 100% legal. And over there in Vancouver, Washington, 1 dead and 3 injured. Gunman remains at large and unknown. This has been the News Underground, along with Garbage Fuel, to remind you that this is not changing. And if you do want to change it, I don't know, get a gun. I don't know. Actually, one way that could fix this problem would be for black people across the nation to own more guns and form more Black Panther-style militias. So for the sake of American gun violence, to reduce that, please, if you're an African-American man, please join a Black Panther coalition or a proud gun ownership coalition today and let everyone know that you also have the legal right to own guns. Thank you so much. 2 families. There you go, folks. That's my U.S. update. We're going to go ahead and move on to good news next. I'd like to put good news next to the mass shooting update. A little palate. Hope you enjoy that coming up next. Thank you.